Well, good evening everyone and welcome to Project Cars 2. We are here for CRC Tier 1 action as we take in the fantastic Long Beach circuit from America. I'm looking forward to the action unfolding. Of course, I'm James Hay, going to be taking you through the action. Alan Cavey not here tonight. You might have seen that he was having a few disconnection issues on the stream. That's why the Tier 2 stream was ended early as a result. He will not be joining me as a result. It seems to me that TTTV gets plagued by these disconnection issues as of late. But we are here and you guys are in for an absolute treat with the championship battle being so close as it is. It gives me time with us going into a new lobby to really run through and run down who is in what position coming into tonight. Crusher Bro currently leading the way on 192 points. Remember, he is a rookie coming into this season and he's in the Aston Martin as well on 192 points. From 007 Professional in second on 178 points. His teammate Ash Richardson is in third on 173 points. 19 points separating the top three coming into tonight, with all to play for in the final two rounds of the season. Zandamar is in fourth on 129. Could have that position wrapped up here tonight, all being well. Racing at Home is in fifth on 98 points. Good performance from him. Obviously, he joined me in the commentary box at Sugal with Alan Racing, but he's been doing well this season. Nissim in sixth on 69 points, also in the Mercedes, with Emmanuel in seventh on 57 points. McKinder for You in eighth on 55 points, with PFC Steve in ninth on 50 points, and John Dog in 10th in the other Cadillac, of course, on 41 points. That is the rundown of the top 10 here tonight. Constructors, it is really all sewn up. The Ferraris have already won the Constructors battle and they've well done to them for winning it last time out. Bulldog Racing Team, the Ferraris of course, 351 points leading the way, from Aston Martin Racing in second on 198 points. HRT Esports is in third on 134 points. Missing in Action is in fourth on 91 points. With Wilson Racing in fifth on 65 points. Williams Engineering in sixth on 55. Campbell Motorsport in seventh on 33. And Invicta Racing Team in eighth on 26 points. That is the rundown of the constructor standings here tonight. And if you are just tuning in, as I say, no Alan Cavey joining me in the commentary box this evening, so I'm running solo for tonight. Of course, I'm James Head, a very familiar face to you guys here on TTTV, or very familiar voice, because of course I cannot show my face on the stream. I haven't got a face cam or anything. You probably know what I look like if you follow me on Twitter. Obviously, we're here at the Long Beach Street Circuit. Let's have a look then and really delve into the track in more detail. There are a number of corners here, 3 sectors await the drivers, traditionally used for IndyCar and for that discipline for IndyCar, and hopefully we are going to see some good racing here tonight. So, just looking through the turns, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 turns I do believe here tonight. We'll confirm that in just a second when we get into the lobby. Of course, I'm a little bit early starting the stream, so I can run through this in detail. So, from the start-finish straight, you have got Bridgestone, which is technically turn 1. Through the curve, going on the straight, that is turn 1 at Bridgestone. Then down towards Toyota Corner at turn 2, before getting into Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men, as I like to call it, for the hairpin at turn 3. It is a very tricky corner, that. Through turn 4 and 5, and then on towards T-Gate turn P, which is turn 6 out on track, then through Pine Avenue onto Seaside Way through turn 7, and then on the run down towards Firestone turn. That is the biggest straight, apart from the start-finish straight, that is the biggest straight on the track here tonight in Seaside Way. Then down into Firestone turn, which will be a very tricky corner to get the brakes, and then Indy left, and then onto Shoreline Drive through the hairpin at the final corner, of course. It is going to be nighttime conditions, as you can quite clearly see, so we are going to be starting this at 8 o'clock in terms of session time. So let me take you through then what we have in store. 11 turns here tonight, 2.39 mile in length, and we've got an absolute action-packed race for you here tonight. Of course, 15 minutes worth of qualifying, and then that 45-minute race, which I'm hopefully going to be taking you through here tonight. My voice has been going a little bit. I've had a couple of voice cracks, so don't be surprised if you hear them here tonight. But I'm really thrilled to be bringing you the action, and of course it's a solo commentary, but hopefully Alan will be back for the season finale next week. But with round 13 about to begin, who are your favourite drivers out on track? Who do you think will win the Drivers' Championship? Remember, Crusher on 192 points, 007 Professional on 178, Ash Richardson in third on 173. 19 points separate in the top three. Who is your money on? Well, comment in the comment section, and like, comment and subscribe to the channel while you're at it as well. As we see a very good action, and there, beautiful nightline sky. 13 drivers then here. I'm not sure if there have been a couple of disconnections. Yeah, Zandamar is a notable disconnect, as is George. So I think both of them have left, and John Dog has also retired. So not sure what is going on. There might be a few disconnections going on. Hopefully it's going to be all fine in terms of streaming. Zandamar has successfully rejoined the session, however, and John Dog is back in as well. We get the first couple of cars then coming out onto track. I'll just try and find out who's the first car coming out on track, and it's one of the Ferraris. It is Ash Richardson, currently sitting in third in the championship, behind his teammate 007 in second. And hopefully Ash is going to be providing some good racing here tonight. There is Bill Ben, the flower pot men turn, as I like to call it around here. Now, the Astons and the Ferraris should like this track better than the Mercedes. The Mercedes is essentially going to be a bit of a tank around here, as I just nick onto the blue screen by accident. It will be very difficult, I think, for the Mercedes to get even close towards the top end of the grid. They will use the straights to good effect, but it's all about cornering, and the Ferraris and the Astons, and possibly even the Lamborghinis as well, will have a significant advantage, I think, in terms of qualifying, and hopefully we do get to see some good action out on track. Zandamar, I do believe, has just rejoined us, so Ash and John as well has just rejoined, which you can see is why we're getting a bit of frame rate drop. But Ash is currently onto his outlap, and and you can tell how difficult it is to get these cars stopped. Crusher Broad just in behind him out on track. We're about to begin qualifying here. So then Ash into the final corner, of course, coming through onto Shoreline Drive now. So we run down towards turn 1 through Bridgestone, and Ash Richardson now comes across the line to start his lap. Now through Bridgestone at turn 1, comes through, flying through. Can reach in excess of about 155 mile an hour before braking zone here. Perfectly on 155 down in towards turn 1. Take a wide apex through there. Nearly killed the cameraman in the process. Now through into the hairpin at turn 3. Very difficult corner this, but making look pretty easy there from Ash. Now through turns 4 and 5 on the run down towards TK corner at turn 6. So Ash Richardson now coming through turn 5, and towards the end towards the start of the middle sector. This is pretty much halfway through the middle sector, in fact, out on track. So Ash now coming through TK turn, now onto Pine Avenue, and then down towards Seaside Way, which will be the next turn coming up, which will be turn 7. Seaside Way is safely negotiated. Very tricky track this, and you wouldn't be surprised, as Crusher Broad just loses it in the background there. Ash doing a good job so far on this lap, really preparing for his lap. Of course the times will get quicker as the session progresses, and Ash now coming through into Indy left, through the left-hander, through 9 and 10, and then towards the final corner at turn 11, and then flat out. That makes it look pretty easy through there, if I've got to be honest. Ash, the first one to come across the line, and down Shoreline Drive he comes, and he's going to be setting a 1:17. Crusher Pro now coming across the line, look quicker in the background. Is he quicker enough? No, he's not. 1:18.3, and Nissim 4 thousandths behind him in third currently. John just coming through the first couple of corners there. Zandamar getting a bit of heat into those tyres. Looks like he just came out on track. Steve looks like he's had a bit of a moment. Sean currently out on track. I'm just trying to flick through to somebody that is coming around the final couple of corners. Emmanuel and McKinder for you are. So Emmanuel down towards the line. McKinder for you just in behind him out on track. That's the line. Comes Emmanuel. McKinder for you goes 9th. 1:20.3, and Emmanuel the 1:18.8 goes 6th. So Ash currently out on top by 1.2 seconds. You can see who has put in the practice and the hours around here And who hasn't, as Emmanuel goes straight down the runoff area and retires into the pit garage, but of course he will come back out. Me, Olaf has just completed a lap there, 134.5, will inevitably improve. Sean coming across the line, he goes 10th, 123.5, again, noticeable improvement to be found there. Of course, Sean in the, looks like the GTR, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was the Nissan GTR he is in, so Sean coming through very nicely indeed. And very good through, oh, fighting the back end. And Sean will never improve. Yes, 2 times up through the first sector. John just about to come across the line, and he just has, in fact, 156 flat, but that was, I think, an improvement on his time. And you can see everyone now beginning to set their times. Pusher Bro has gone second, now with a 117.4, 007 in third. So you can really see the guys in the thinner cars, like the Ferraris, and the Aston Martin and Pusher Pro, and the McLaren as well of Speedster, doing good out on track. And of course STV has been a real funness, I think, for me tonight. STV Louis, of course, competing in League of Europe. Well, if you did catch on board with League of Europe, phenomenal race in Russia, you might agree. And STV are represented here with Speedster, currently in 5th, 118.1, he was a 10th up through the first sector. And he'll be looking to continue on that esports team's very good form. Cohen in the way, coming through onto Seaside Way there. He's now 4/10 of a second up. He's got, I think, Crusher Pro ahead of him. So coming through. Oh, and that is, sorry, a Cadillac just ahead of him. Speedster goes to the inside. To the inside line goes Speedster, and it's let through. Oh, and a bit of a spin there. Well, I think that might have been John. Speedster coming around the final couple of corners. Better come across the line. Could favour with in between Nissan and 007, I think, with this lap. Comes across the line. He goes third, in fact, so he goes ahead of 007 by 200ths of a second. So Speedster goes third. McLaren ahead of the Ferrari and the Mercedes of Nissan in 5th. H-Racing Goon has gone 6th with a 118.4 as well. But it's that man, Ash, currently out on top in qualifying. Emmanuel just coming across the line. Don't think he improved there, 118.8. Of course, do get your comments in to the comment section if you are tuning in for the first time here to CRC, or if you are completely and utterly tuning in just purely because you're bored and the lockdown is continuing on, then I welcome you, of course, to CRC Tier 1. Bit of Project Cars 2 action on the Saturday night never goes wrong out on track. Steve, by the way, John, by the way, did improve. I think he had another spin. It's a 141 flat for him, though. Steve hasn't settled up just yet. McKinder for you, however, is coming through on towards turn 6. See if he's improving. Flings the car into the corner, getting very tight to the wall on the right-hand side there. McKinder looking good. It's actually right on board within the cockpit. Oh, and that is the wrong time to go on board with the cockpit there. And that, for McKinder for you, will be him back into the pits. That is typical. I'd never do that to people. Goodness me, Andy. Coming through. Let's ride on board with Andy then and see if he can make this one, this corner look a little bit better. You can see beautiful graphics here. Andy just about getting through there nicely, and takes the wide out line down Seaside Way towards turn number 8 out on track. Andy coming through here. Looking very nice, and this is a good sense from a driver's point of view what these guys are actually doing. John Dog has got grid place penalty for pit lane violation, probably track extending over coming out of the pits possibly. In fact, he's came into the pit, so he might have just sped into the pit lane. Andy coming across the line. Is he going to improve the Scotsman? He doesn't. 119.7 out on track. Meet Olaf, by the way, has gone 7th as well with a 118 flat, so Meet Olaf goes 7th. Asheville currently in front. Looks like he got a little bit of damage there to the front end of that car, but Ash looking good so far, and he's just preparing up for a lap. Pusher Bro in second. Looks like he might have just started up on one. 6.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. 45 minutes race still yet to come. That's still yet to come, of course. Pusher Bro is down on his time. Speedster has just gone 3rd. Sorry, he was 3rd. Emmanuel has gone 5th, by the way. So Emmanuel goes 5th with a 117.6, so he's now up into 5th position out on track. What I'm going to do is, for 30 seconds, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to replenish myself with a drink, and then I'll be back. Ah, beautiful, beautiful drink. And Ash currently still out on top in this session with 5.5 minutes to go. Boom. Crusher Bro in second, Speedster in third, 7 Professional in fourth, Emmanuel in fifth, Nissim in sixth, with Mia Owoff in seventh, Zandamar in eighth. About to come across the line, not sure if he's going to improve on the slap. Zandamar across the line. He does improve on the slap, goes seventh. So jumps up to 117.8 out on track for Zandamar. Mia Owoff goes 8th. Hey, Racing Green is now dropped to 9th. Kinfew in 10th. Hitting the wall on the left-hand side there. Gets Mia Owoff out of the way. Two Lambos probably using up there as a bit of a slipstream buffer running down the straight. Kinfew in 10th currently. Steve in 11th. Oh, and that is Mia Owoff going quite sideways through into turn 8 there. Kinfew now coming around the final corner though in the meantime. Is he improving on his lap? We'll find out. He's better come across the line. He feels like he's good enough to finish off this lap, unless he's just starting one, of course. Kinfew, yeah, 3 tenths down. In fact, it didn't improve. Let's go back on board with the Scotsman, see how he's doing. Andy coming up towards through turn 8, 9 and 10, and then in towards the hairpin of turn 11, of course. So he's just preparing up for a lap. Running 4 litres of fuel, actually, Andy. A massive wide out line there. That's to prioritise the run onto the lap. Andy, what can he do? 119.7. Let's put a little bit of pressure onto him. Let's go from a cockpit point of view again and take you through a lap here of the Long Beach circuit, the Long Beach Street Circuit. There is the carousel just in the foreground of shot, braking just before the 200 metre board. And Andy making it through turn 1 very nicely indeed there. Now through towards turns 2 and 3, looking very nice. Oh, a little bit close to the wall there. Back on board with trackside cam. And Andy coming through the end of the first sector. Not sure what he was like through the first sector. 007, by the way, has gone second, 117.2, just to clarify on that. So 007 is up in now into second. So it's a Ferrari 1-2, front row of the grid, and Ash has just improved, 116.992 for Ash out on track. So Ash goes to the top, and 007 in second, Crusher Bro third, Speedster fourth, Emmanuel fifth, Nissim sixth, Zandamar now in 7th, Mia Owoff in 8th, and Andy on a lap. Still getting heat into the tyres by the looks. Looks like he might be invalidated on this lap, in fact. So let's run on board then with somebody that is on a lap, and let's try and pick up on board. Is Nissim on board a lap? 117.6 from 6.5 tenths behind Ash's current time. Across the line goes Nissim. Yeah, he's just starting up on a lap as well. Speedster coming through the middle sector. 2.5 minutes. Oh, clonks the wall on the left-hand side there. Speedster only a 10th down. He could try and improve ahead of Crusher Bro here. Let's go on board then and really get a sense of what this track is like over the curves with the bumper cam. Speedster flying through, in through 9 and 10, and then into this very tricky hairpin at turn 11. Looking very nice through there. He's going to run it to the line now. So Speedster looking to improve ahead of Crusher Bro, who's in the pit lane. Comes across the line now. Doesn't improve, 4 tenths down. That clonk with the wall really not helping in his chance to get pole. Professional across the line, not improving just in behind. We've got a whole host of cars out on track. Wrestler Holm hasn't set a lap time just yet. Andy and Sean are in the pit lane as well, along with Crusher Bro, who's actually just came out the pits. McKinder for you, just coming through the first couple of corners. Let's go on board with Steve. Let's see how he's doing through the middle sector. With nearly a minute and a half left to go here in qualifying. It's Ash currently out in front with 007 in second. Crusher Bro third, Speedster fourth, Manuel in fifth, Nissim in sixth. Nissim just about to come across the line here actually, 117.641. Doesn't improve, 5.5 seconds off. Clearly had some sort of spin on that lap. Zandamar struggling through turn 3. Just about getting it through that. 007 on a lap again. We'll try and focus then on a few of the drivers that are near to the top of the grid. Ash has just started up on another lap, I do believe, so the Ferrari man coming through towards turn 4, getting very tight to the wall there, now through turn 5. Getting really on the power, Ash. Getting very quick through there, if I've got to be honest. 007 in second, Crusher Bro currently in third position, but Ash, with 50 seconds to go here in Long Beach qualifying, round 13 of the championship for CRC Tier 1. Ash currently out on top. Let's see what he's doing through the middle sector. See if he is improving. No sector split coming up there, which suggests to me he might be on an out lap. 1:16.992, by the way, his fastest lap of the race. We've got Speedster and Splits, Nissim, H Racing Green, John, Andy, and Racing at Home. We're not going to be setting any laps by the looks further, so they're all in the pit lane and are going to be there for the rest of the session. So Ash, one of the first ones now to come across the line. 007 has pitted in as well, and Ash has pitted in as well. So Crusher Bro on a lap, Emmanuel on a lap. He's coming towards the end of the final sector now and towards the hairpin. Sliding the car through there. Can Emmanuel improve? Currently in fifth. Ash, by the way, has got a pit lane violation, so he's now down into second. So 007 will be on pole as it stands. Emmanuel across the line. Does he improve? He does. He jumps up to second. So Emmanuel now takes provisional pole. Crusher Bro, what's he doing out on track? I'm not sure. Zandamar is in behind. I don't think McKinder for you will improve up the field. Kinder has indeed come into the pit, so Crusher Bro now on the final lap, he's 1.2 seconds down. This is not going to be Crusher Bro's pole either, so Ash with that pit lane violation, that one grid place penalty, is going to be dropped to second, and it's the Mercedes of Emmanuel who, to be honest, I writ off this car coming into the qualifying session. It's going to be probably a Mercedes on top from, it's going to be Emmanuel from Ash by the looks. Crusher Bro across the line. Not finding any time there at all. How's Zandamar getting on? Could be a chief gainer, but I thought he was going to come into the pit. He's taking the pit wall line towards the line now. Zandamar across the line doesn't improve either, so he goes 7th, and as the qualifying session over here in Long Beach, 45 minutes worth of action about to begin, and Ash with a grid place penalty is on pole, but Emmanuel will be on pole from Ash in 2nd. Professional in 3rd, Crusher Bro in 4th, Speedster 5th, Nissim in 6th, Zandamar in 7th, Mia Olwoff in 8th, 9-10 Supper in the top 8, with H Racing Green in 9th, Steve in 10th, McKinder for you in 11th, John Dog in 12th, grid place penalty for him, so Andy will jump above him. John Dog now in 13th, Sean in 14th, and Racing at Home not getting a qualifying lap in, down there in 15th position coming into tonight. Hopefully we're going to be seeing some good racing out on track. And yes, Emmanuel did just get a pole position out on track, albeit with a grid place penalty to the car ahead. Emmanuel has just got pole position here tonight. So Emmanuel out on top from Ash in 2nd, Professional in 3rd. Good evening to everyone that is tuning in for CRC Tier 1. No Alan Cavey alongside me, as you've probably gained by now, as you've probably seen by now, but it's James Ted going to be taking you through the action here tonight. 15 drivers out on track, pretty much a full grid here for Tier 1 action, and what a night we have in prospect here. Let's have a look through the comment section. The scenes, Emmanuel on pole. I know, the scenes is absolutely mad. I writ off, as I say, the Mercedes at the start of this qualifying session. Maybe I shouldn't have written them off too much, because they're now, Emmanuel has got that car onto pole position as a result of Ash's penalty. But remember, 45 minutes worth of action. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a few pit stops here tonight in Long Beach. And for a top 3, I'm going to go a little bit presumptive, and I'm going to go Ash for the win. I think he might just know this track inside out, like the back of his hand. So Ash for the win. I'm going to make it a Ferrari 1-2, 007 Professional in 3rd. And for 3rd, I'm going to go for Speedster. I think that McLaren will come alive in the early stages, and he could hang himself in with a good podium shout here. Emmanuel ahead will struggle through the turns. There's not really majority of straight here out in Long Beach, so Emmanuel essentially got to hope that the start-finish straight speed is good enough for him to carry the lead down in towards turn 1. If not, and if Ash and 007 jump him off the start, then I can see Emmanuel dropping through the field like a stone. That is my honest opinion, I think, on how this race is going to unfold. But Emmanuel looking to get in here. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with the picture that you are seeing. It is just purely night time, and that is why we are having the light on the left-hand side of the grid against the barriers. So, Emmanuel and everyone about to start us off. The red light sequence is on here in Long Beach for round 13 of the championship. It's right down the way we go. Ash gets a nearly a better start than Emmanuel, and Emmanuel's pure pace off the line gets him into the front. So Emmanuel leads through Bridgestone at turn 1. Ash in second, but look at Crusher Bro up to third already. Gone past 007, and he's looking around the outside line down towards turn 1. Right on board with Ash down towards turn 1, and Emmanuel's gone straight on. Emmanuel's gone straight on, and quite a few of the field have gone straight on. Speedster is into the wall early. John Dog is into the wall. Rissner Home, I think, has left the session. So Ash into the lead of the race early. 007 in second. Crusher Bro in third. Disaster for Emmanuel, who went down the escape road. We almost caught in a collision as well. He is down the escape road, I do believe, as well. So Scenes in the back there. Not sure what happened. We'll try and get a full run of that through in the later stages. But Ash leads the way by 0.8 of a second from 007 in second. There is Crusher Bro in third. Good start from him. Trying to go down the inside in towards turn 1. Many drivers probably not knowing enough braking point down in towards turn 1, and that's why we saw a little bit of chaos. Nissim in 4th, Hitchers in green 5th, Hitchers in green 6th, sorry, Stephen 7th, Andy in 8th, McKinley for you in 9th, with Sean in 10th, John in 11th, there's Speedster in 12th, and Emmanuel in 13th, and we have lost Mia Orwoff out of the race. So Mia Orwoff out of the race after that lap 1 contact. He is out of the race and probably would have been going around there maybe with 3 wheels. That's a shame. Rissner Home has left the session as well. But Ash leads the way by 0.7 of a second as we are a minute and a half through already. From Professional in second position. Very good start on the whole by a majority of the guys out on track. Crusher Bro, clouting the wall there on the right hand side and giving Professional something to think about there. The Crusher Bro, right hand side damage possibly. 68 litres of fuel the cars are carrying here tonight, or majority of the field will be carrying early on at this stage. Emmanuel, by the way, has came into the pits, I'm pleased to report. So Emmanuel has not came into the pits, that was a timing glitch. So Emmanuel is still continuing on in 13th position after going straight on through turn 1. But looking through the field, any close battles beginning to happen. Andy looking under pressure here from Steve, and Steve doing well. Cadillac against the Porsche here for 7th and 8th. The Scotsman will try and fight off the Australian. That's McKinley for you into the wall, hopping pretty much over. So McKinley for you into the wall there, clouting it. It's now Sean and Speedster in behind. Speedster trying to get the move done here on Sean, but down the straight, McKinley for you just looks good enough. He looks like he's got suspension damage, and going on to the back there, John is into the back and has spun round. Emmanuel's going to be blocked here, possibly down through the corner. He's managed to negotiate him through okay. As now Speedster's trying to go around the outside. Big outside line there. What a move that is by Speedster. Speedster getting the move done on McKinley for you. McKinley for you is into the pits early. Quite a few timing glitches, but we're still continuing on. It's lap 3 out of however many laps there will be here in Long Beach. It is Ash who leads the way from Professional in second and on settling down. Very good start by the top 3. Zandamar is in 4th, Nissim in 5th, H Racing Green in 6th. Good start from him. Andy is up to 7th, possibly on for his best race of the season so far. Looks like Steve might have had a moment in the background there. He's now down in 8th. Sean in 9th. Speedster now 10th. Have that good moving. In fact, he's right on the back of Sean. Coming through turn 5. He wants to give him the shimmy on, I think he is. Speedster on the back of Sean. Down the inside into Turgate corner. Trying to get the move done down the inside, and that is a great move by Speedster. Trying to get the move done. Sean is still on the inside line though. Down the inside in towards turn 7 and then onto Seaside Way, and Speedster has got the move done. The McLaren is through on the Nissan. Very, very good driving there by the S2V man, and he's up into 9th position. And we're already seeing Speedster begin to come through the field. If he didn't have that early contact, you never know where he could be in this field early on. Very good driving so far from Speedster. Nissim trying to chase down Zandamar. This is the 4th position. On to lap 4 we go. Ash still out in front from Professional in 2nd. Averaging currently around a 1:18 lap time. So if you think about it, 1:18s around here, we should get maybe in excess of 30 laps out on track. Of course, as the race goes on, we will get as many laps as possible. Zandamar. And it pulls in onto the back of Crusher Bro, which has now just dropped off. And those Ferraris through the corners are looking very, very good indeed. Crusher Bro looks like he's on the back foot here tonight. Big advantage for Ash and Professional in terms of the driver's standings, of course. And as it stands, if the race was to end now through 5 minutes, it's not going to. But if it was, Crusher Bro will be losing goodness amounts of points on Professional and Ash in the championship. Ash would be gaining 10 points on Crusher, so that'll be down to 9 points for him, and Professional will be gaining 3 points on Crusher at this stage, so the gap would be, at this stage, in theory, out on track. And if the race was to end now, it will be 100. Ash would move into second in the championship, is all I'm going to say on that. Ash would move into second in the championship as a result of what is happening currently out on track. Zandamar's trying to get onto the back of Crusher Pro through turn 4. Car in the pit lane was racing at home, I do believe. So, racing at home not getting underway. Looks like he might have been having a few technical issues on his end. The two Mercedes are looking quite close, Zandamar and Nissim. This is for 4th and 5th. They're racing green and 6th. And D7 Speedster now in 8th. Steve in 9th, Emmanuel 10th. Sean in 11th. John in 12th, and McKinley for you in 13th position out on track. Hope everyone enjoying the stream so far. Of course, if you are new to CRC and new to TTTV, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Apologies about Alan's disconnection as well from the Tier 2 stream. That's probably why you saw it go down, but nothing you can really help. And as I said at the start of the stream, it seems like all of our commentators, bar me, is getting the plague of disconnections currently out on track and out within starting streams as well. It's unfortunate. It's a really hard thing to grasp, especially with the times that we are going through, but it's understandable. And I hope Alan will be back next week to join me alongside for the season finale next week. Ash currently leading the way though, from Professional in 2nd. Crusher Pro in 3rd, Zandamar 4th, Nissim 5th. H in green in 6th, Andy in 7th, Speedster in 8th, Stephen 9th, Emmanuel 10th, John in 11th, Sean in 12th, McKinley for you down there in 13th after that contact with the wall. But nobody looking really close enough to each other, which is a shame. I like to see a good battle here out on track. Sean is into the pits in the meantime. Looks like he's got suspension damage. So Sean into the pits. Extend out for him. Come into the pit stop and the car automatically goes into the pit stop here. Let's go on board though with the battle for 3rd, because Crusher Pro is under pressure now from Zandamar. Zandamar, the American, against the Norwegian Crusher Pro. And Crusher Pro will be hoping they can try and gain on Professional and Ash, both in this race and on the championship, because it currently leads the way coming into tonight. Zandamar is on the back of Crusher as he comes through the hairpin now. It is Ash who leads the way, Professional in 2nd. Professional close enough to the back of Ash, and I wonder what's going on here. I think Professional is there's been tactics here, clear tactics from the Ferraris out on track. So Professional now into the lead of the race. And in terms of the championship, that is the way things have gone. In terms of the championship, that is why Ash has let through Professional. Maybe there was a switch around there saying, oh, I think I'm quicker than you. Well, it all remains to be seen how this race is now going to unfold. Professional leads. Will he be the quickest driver out on track? If he is the quickest driver out on track, and if he is quicker than Ash, he will begin to pull away that gap. He's just beginning to now. But if he's consistent enough, he will begin to pull away that gap. Zandamar went very wide there, and Nissim as well, following the same line. And now Zander on the back of Crusher Pro. This is for 3rd and 4th. Nissim in the back in 5th. Looks like he's got no lights actually, Nissim. Probably as a result of early contact with the wall. Through turn 1, I would imagine, on lap 1. Looks like H Racing Green Man has just got a little bit of a sideways moment there. Just in the back of shot. But with 10 minutes pretty much gone here in Long Beach, and we're about to go on to lap 8, Professional leads the way out on track, and it is planning out on how it's going out on track. Sean disconnects from the session. Unfortunate to see Sean disconnecting. Top 10 of course do get points around here, so we're already down 3 drivers, 4 if you include George. Obviously being told not to race here due to disconnections. Of course we want to try and maximise the amount of people that we have, but also keep it safe within the limits for everyone out on the track. And with Project Cars especially, it hasn't been going great in terms of the lobbies recently on this game. Zandamar, though, is on the back of Crusher. This is for 3rd and 4th position. I'm just going to nick in and put a menthol in my mouth, because I'm going to try and get me through the next 20 minutes or so. of racing, so it should get me to around the 14-minute mark, hopefully this mental. You might just hear me moving about a little bit and my clonking a little bit, but it's all in order. I've had another stream before this, so you can appreciate why I think my voice is beginning to go. Emmanuel, on the back of Steve. This is for 9th and 10th, Cadillac against the Mercedes here. Looking good, currently out on track. As Emmanuel tries to close up. It looks like he might have made a little bit of a mistake there. Professional currently from Ash in 2nd. And looking currently through. Yeah, team orders out on track, which is very strange. And Austria 2002? Quite possibly so as well. I think that is exactly like Austria 2002 in the Ferraris. 7-0 leads, Ash in 2nd. Looking at the minute though, I've got to be honest and say Ash is the quicker driver, I think. Look at the last lap times, 19.247 for Ash, 19.316 for 007. He's got nobody in front of him. I think Ash is just slightly the quicker driver out on track. And this could bode well for them. Obviously if there's no team orders or anything during the course of this race, then Ash will be on the back of Professional and he will try and fight for the win. 9/10 of a second, he's just looking overly quicker, especially through this middle sector as we ride on board with him. He just looks so much quicker and so much redefined, I think, through the middle sector there. He's obviously 7/10 down, it's just a little bit of time there, but he looks a little bit quicker, I think, out on track. Let's go on board with Cockpit Cam and see, from his perspective, see how it's going out on track for him. Going on to the left-hander there. And now through the hairpin at turn 11. Looking very nice there. The port of Long Beach, of course, in Florida. Nissim, by the way, has came into the pits, I do believe. So Nissim is into the pits. McKinder for you is also into the pits, or has been into the pits. So Nissim is right down on the back of the field now. Ash right on the back of Professional. Professional lagging slightly, but 0.8 of a second leading, and on that lap it was Professional who was quicker than Ash. So maybe they're having a bit of a 1-2 situation out on track. Steve, however, is on the back of Emmanuel, so looking quite close down towards turn 1. This is currently for 8th and 9th out on track. Emmanuel, Steve, breaking early down towards turn 1. Looking very nice here. And Steve right on the back. And also, we've got a very good battle beginning to progress just ahead as well. Andy in 5th position, ahead of Speedster, and I'm not sure who was just disconnected there. Somebody has just disconnected out of the session, and there was somebody out on track, and I'm not sure who it was. If you can find out who it was, it'll be fantastic. Speedster is on the back of Andy, down the inside on Seaside Way, down through turn 8, and Speedster pulls off another good move. Andy's been in the walls a little bit here out on track tonight, but Speedster makes that look pretty easy out on track and gets the move done. He's up into 5th, and the S2V man making up for lost time with these moves, and he's beginning now to get back into contention. But now the poor speed down the straight. We'll go back on board with Andy as we try and see how it's going from out on track. Down towards turn 1, through bumper cam this is. Speedster much later on the brakes. He's carried a little bit too much speed into the corner, but he's somehow got that car stop perfection there. And he could use with getting Speedster's lines right, I think. Try and catch back up to him. Well, I mean, we're nearly through 15 minutes, and Andy's doing a good job, and probably one of his better races of the season. And with how everything is progressing so far, as I say, I'm not sure who it was that disconnected. It wasn't one of the Cadillacs. I think it might have been... I'm just trying to look down. Yeah, I'm not sure who disconnected, to be honest. If somebody can bring me out there in the comments section, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Zandamar losing time to the back of Crusher Pro. Oh, and it's H Racing Green that has left the session. So H Racing Green has disconnected from the session. Unfortunate, I think. Might have been a little bit of a problem, possibly. But now down to 11 drivers. That was short-lived. That was short-lived. Ash on the back of Professional. 19.2 Professional. 3 laps is now, he set quicker lap times than his fastest lap. H Racing Green crashed at turn 1. Looked like he had good pace, and unfortunate, I think, that I didn't catch that on stream. I do apologise about that. I didn't catch that on stream. H Racing Green out of the race through turn 1. Thank him though for racing. So now Long Beach beginning to take its toll on these drivers, and we're already through the first 15 minutes of the race here out on track as Ash tries to close up on Professional. Nissim looking like he's going to be lapped here, I think. Nissim going to get out of the way. See Mercedes taking a little bit of flat out speed there. Professional has been let through. Could Nissim possibly disrupt the two Ferraris' rhythm, I wonder? Coming through the hairpin, very tricky place to overtake this, and very tricky place to let through guys. Ash could be held up coming through the hairpin. Not close enough to be held up, but down the straight, Nissim could use the Mercedes speed to pull away and just bring this into Crushable's forte, possibly, out on track. It looks like Nissim though might just let him through here. And he has. He's not getting involved in that championship battle, so Nissim lets him through. Crushable flashing the lights down towards Servon. The 007 into the lead of the race, from Ash now in second. Crushable in third. And Ash on that time around was about 2 tenths quicker than Professional. Two Ferraris onto lap 13 we're going. We're going to go easily through the 30 lap barrier, I think, out on track tonight. Zandamar in fourth. Speedster in a bit of low man's land at this stage. He's 15 seconds, he's 11 seconds in fact behind Zandamar. But he's doing a good job. And he's slowly beginning to creep back into contention. If anything happens in front, Speedster is going to be the chief gainer possibly out of this race. My top 3 prediction is not too much out of the favour, to be honest. I think Ash obviously in second now and 007 in the lead of the race. We can cross over that, but looking out on track, it's going very well for the two Ferraris. The Bulldog Racing team, of course, wrapping up the Constructors' Championships. A bit of lag going through there. Thought we were going to lose connection. Professional leading the way from Ash in second. Crushable now in third. He's got Nissim ahead of him. Nissim across the line. 21.4 compared to a 19.5 from Crushable. Crushable not going to be let through easily here. Nissim looks like he's possibly just staying ahead for the meantime. Maybe helping out the Ferraris at this stage, I wonder. Coming through the hairpin once again. Bill and Ben, the flower pot men corner. That's what I like to leave it to. It's the only thing I can think of when I see that corner. If you're wondering who Bill and Ben, the flower pot men are, I think it was a CBB show back into early 2000s, which I used to watch when I was a wee little kid. Oh, Chris Rowe trying to get onto the back of Ash, but it's 3 seconds the gap now. Zandamar in fourth. Just a little bit of time. Manuel is into the pit lane. So Manuel into the pits. Not sure if he's had contact with the wall, possibly out on track. Getting a tyre change. And Emmanuel should be out of the pits very soon. He's got repairs, I think, for that car. And the Mercedes man into the pits. And we'll let, though, McKinder Few. There is McKinder Few. There is Emmanuel. Is he going to get the car going? He's revving it up now, and he does. McKinder Few, in fact, is into the pits. So Nissim is going to go into 9th position as a result of this. So Nissim now through into 9th position out on track. He'll come past Emmanuel any second now. There is Emmanuel just coming out of the pit lane. And Nissim is through, so Nissim up into 9th position. Gap for the lead now a second, 1.3, 1.4 seconds. And Ash again, 118.8, looking quicker in terms of lap time than Professional at this stage. Ash is on the back of Professional. Going to take a 30-second break quickly. And there's not really much going on out on track, so I'll come back within about a minute. Well, welcome. If you are just tuning in to Long Beach here tonight for CRC, John Dog is into the pit lane and has retired from the session. So Long Beach taking its toll on these drivers here tonight John is now out of the race. That promotes McKinder for you into the point scoring positions. This race just falling apart slightly. I wish Alan could be in the commentary box and give us a better race, I think. I think it would be better if he was here alongside me in the commentary box, of course. But out on track, it is Professional who leads the way. Ash in second, Crusherbo in third, Zandamar fourth, Speedster fifth, Andy sixth, Stephen seventh, Nissim in eighth, Emmanuel ninth, and McKinder for you in 10th position. And, of course, if you are staying home in these troubling times, in these very weird times, if I've got to be honest, and very strange times to all of us, then you are more than welcome to stay here, of course, for CRC Tier 1. And I've just retweeted out on my Twitter, at B52Head, if you do want to follow me. That, of course, just a bit of guidance, really, about the coronavirus and to stay at home. Of course, that is the most important thing that we will get at here on this stream tonight. And, of course, if you are staying at home, then you are saving lives and protecting the NHS and protecting your health service as well. But if you're not, then you're not saving lives. And really, it's a shame. It's a shame that you're not saving lives, because we're going to have a big death toll here in the UK. And in other places as well, in the world, there's going to be a big death toll. And there possibly could be in a second wave, maybe even other waves coming for the coronavirus. So the best thing to do, stay at home, protect the NHS, protect your health service and save lives. That is the main message here tonight. And I'll just reiterate that as we get to the halfway stage here in CRC Tier 1. Not really much going on out on track, but it is Professional who leads the way, from Ash in second. I'll try and board them with Ash, trying to chase down his Bulldog Racing teammate. A bit of a rub against the wall possibly there from Professional. I saw a little bit of sparking coming off on the wall, but Ash leading the way. Professional breaking that 300 metre board at 150 metre, about 150 feet away from the corner, and Ash on the back of Professional. And again, he's looking quicker at this stage in the race. He just doesn't eye up the final corner out. If he eyes up the final corner out, he could be onto the back of Professional within a couple of laps, I think. Crusher Pro is under pressure. That's from Nissim in behind. And again, Ash, again, setting a consistent lap. Obviously off his personal best, but he's setting consistent laps out on track at 118.6. And Professional currently leading the way from Ash in second. There is the championship leader in third. He's got it all to do, I think, here tonight. Proven by qualifying, but Crusher Pro in third position. And Lamar in fourth, Speedster fifth, Andy sixth, Stephen seventh, Nissim in eighth, Emmanuel ninth, and McKinder still in 10th position. No positions changes to report. And just to pick up on something that we saw earlier, Speedster 18 seconds off to get the move done on Andy, and has pulled away 12 seconds on Andy. Andy obviously going around there with front wing damage, but front bumper damage, but obviously still going out there. He's in 6th position, could be going for his best point haul, I think, of the season so far, which is absolutely incredible. Given the race, how it's panned out, he could be on for a top 5 at this rate, to be honest. Obviously, fingers crossed, hopefully everyone stays in connection and hopefully everyone keeps on going here out on track. Push Pro, 6.9 seconds off on the back of Professional, and Ash is about 5 seconds up the road as well. Now within 9/10 of a second, that gap, and 1.4, 1.5. Professional eyeing up through the gap again. Speedster coming across the line there in 5th. There is Andy in 6th. Running ball with Zandamar. He's losing the time now to Crusher Pro, but again, that Mercedes being quite consistent, and this could lead him into the race possibly. Could use him as a bit of a tow roll possibly to try and get him into the race. Zandamar currently looking in a strong position, in 4th position, and in 4th in the championship as well. He will probably sew up this position here tonight. So he's doing well out on track, Zandamar. But of course, it is Professional who still leads the way from Ash in 2nd. Crusher Pro in 3rd. and mine 4th. Speed's 5th, Andy 6th, and everyone else still in the same position. Steve, Nissim, and Emmanuel, and McKinder for you. I'll eventually get my glasses on straight, there we go. Ash on the back of Professional, and that time Professional was quicker than Ash. If you have a look at every single lap time that these guys said, more often than not I think you'll see Ash quicker than Professional, rather than Professional being quicker than Ash. But 1.4 seconds and the two teammates are just dominating out in front, and it is fantastic to see the action really unfolding here out on track. And of course, if you are brand new, as I say, do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Tick the notification bell if you are new as well. Next bout of action that we are live with here on the TTTV channel is on Tuesday night. It is for TTL F2 after that historic finish in Baku. An absolute unreal finish between Blizzard and Toxic. If you want to tune in for something like that again, then by God do so. Because that is the closest finish I've probably ever taken part on. And what a drive, I think, from both of them out on track. So, Zandamar currently in 4th position. Just a bit of news coming through actually in the real life motorsporting world. Mikhail Schwartzman, the father of Robert Schwartzman, who's the SMP racing driver, has sadly passed away. So Mikhail Schwartzman, the father of Robert Schwartzman, SMP racing driver, I think in Formula 3 if I'm not mistaken, he has sadly passed away. Not sure of the reasons around it, but sad to hear about that. And I'm sure all of our thoughts here at TTTV are with SMP racing and Mikhail and Robert at what I'm sure was a very difficult time for family. But never nice when you report a death like that, to be honest, and it's never nice to report it live on a stream, but just something that I saw on Twitter there, a real shame. But Ash, on the back of Professional, 9.5 tenths of a second, lap 22 we are on. Let's have a rundown actually in terms of fuel, what these guys are on. 24.4 laps of fuel for Professional. 26 for Ash. So Ash has got about a lap or so more fuel than Professional. Could be that he's beginning to see that into a difference now, as it's now 8 tenths of a second. Butcherable, 28 laps of fuel. Even more for Zandamar. Apologies about my birth there. Zandamar, 29 litres of fuel. Professional, 24. Andy, 34. There's just overtaking Nissim there. Steve, 29. Nissim, 27. 32 for Emmanuel, and it's in fact Emmanuel, that's Andy has passed. Emmanuel not passing Emmanuel, goodness me. Andy passing Emmanuel there out on track, and he's got 31 litres of fuel and 38 litres of fuel nearly for the Kinder Figure out on track. Ash is on the back of Professional, 5 tenths of a second, and the gap beginning to come down out on track. But Professional doing a good job out on track from Ash in second, Crushbro in third, Zandamar in fourth, Speedster currently in 5th position, Andy in 6th. Let's just have a look what's being said in the Discord, by the way. Conversation between Alan and H Racing Green, who's losing 1.2 seconds a lap to the leader, and was dreadful pace, he says, and didn't help that Nissim's lag car was trying to kill me. Well, if there was lag, obviously, then with the connection issues that we've had this week, I'm sure it will be taken into account going into next week, of course, for the final round of the championship, and of course the final round of the championship for CRC Tier 1, as I get it up on my screen now, is of course the Bathurst, probably one of my favourite tracks that we're ending off the season at. So Bathurst is going to be the season finale. It's going to be dry there at Bathurst, 25th of April, next Saturday. Do tune in, of course, for Bathurst. I know the track off by heart, which is fantastic. Looking for you on the back of Emmanuel. Emmanuel looking like he's got damage. Looking for you now beginning to come in. We've got a battle at least. It is for the back, but it's a battle right at the back of the field. But of course, it is a battle. We like to see that. That is a cracked windscreen and a half there for McKinder for you. Down towards turn one. Oh, and Emmanuel's gone straight on into the wall. Oh, McKinder for you. No, he didn't realise that. I don't think... well, he realised that. Emmanuel made the mistake ahead of him. Very close to contact there. McKinder for you did well to sit tight on that one, but Emmanuel just losing the car ahead, rejoining track. He could have just waited for McKinder for you to go through and then regain the car and regain the composure back, but sadly not. Emmanuel currently in 9th position, McKinder for you now in 10th as they stand. Round 14 of the championship, as I say, comes on Bathurst next week, and I'm sure you guys will be tuning in for that next week. Professional leads, Ash in 2nd, Crusher Bowl in 3rd. Looking a bit lethargic, to be honest, from Crusher Bowl so far this season. Or I should say this race, not this season. Of course, he's been quite dominant in terms of the championship, but I'll try and work out the overall point standings towards the end of the race. With just under 14 minutes to go. Professional does lead from Ash in 2nd. Then it's Crusher Bro in 3rd. Zandermar in 4th. The battle you're on board with, though, is an 8-10th battle between McKinder Few and Emmanuel. Down the straight, the Mercedes just uses the pace down the straight. McKinder just slightly quicker than Emmanuel that time around, but very similar that time, of course, after making contact through turn 1. Emmanuel making sure he brakes for the corner this time and doesn't go into the wall. Very tight towards me, nearly killing the cameraman. McKinder for you on the back of Emmanuel. This is looking like McKinder for you's move to be pulled off here. 8-10ths of the battle for the lead as well between Professional and Ash. We'll board with that in just a second, but McKinder for you on the back of Emmanuel. This is for the final 2-point scoring positions out on track. Oh, McKinder tries to go around the outside. Never going to pull that one off, and McKinder has to sit tight and not go for the move there. They're about a minute and a half behind out on track. But McKinder for you on the back of Emmanuel. It's now a second out on track. McKinder for you just tries to get closer. Ash has dropped off now, 1.4 seconds. Bulldog Racing Team dominating that in front. McKinder still trying to get away past Emmanuel. Tries to look down the inside of the hairpin. Not quite. And again, McKinder's just got to be a little bit patient, I think, out on track. He's got to try and force Emmanuel into the straight. The straights won't help for McKinder for you. Emmanuel's got to be forceful into a bit of a mistake here out on track, and it's the only way I can see that McKinder for you will try and get the win out on track tonight. Or try and get 9th position, as I say, out on track tonight. They've got no chance for the win, of course. McKinder for you on the back of Emmanuel. Mercedes against Lamborghini. 11 minutes and 50 seconds just under, ticking under to go. McKinder for you on the back of Emmanuel, and again looking to the outside line. Going to try and switch it back down the inside here, and McKinder for you's got an excellent run. Emmanuel is under pressure. He's on the outside line here. McKinder for you, can he get the move done? Onto Seaside where we go. Emmanuel and McKinder for you going to be side by side, pretty much down towards turn 8 here. As the Lambo got the speed, the Mercedes just looking like it's coming out on top in terms of the speed trap, down towards turn 8. And Emmanuel's gone too deep, has he? Or just about gets into the corner. McKinder for you will have to try a switch back, and the Slovenian trying to go around the outside here with Emmanuel, trying to get the move done. Emmanuel goes in too deep to the hairpin, switch it back for McKinder for you. It doesn't pull off the move, and it's just getting a little bit too close, I think, for McKinder for you to try and pull off the move. Zandermar is gaining on Crusher Pro as well. Or as soon as I've said that, I think Xander's just made a bit of a mistake there. So Xander has just made a bit of a mistake. McKinder though on the back of Emmanuel, and look at this. Emmanuel, McKinder for you. We just need to find a way through somewhere right on track, McKinder. And with 10 minutes to go, we're pretty much 35 minutes of the way through here in CRC Tier 1. McKinder for you on the back of Emmanuel. He's 5/10 off on his personal best. So, can McKinder for you find a way through on Emmanuel? This could be the chance. Going to be side by side, down towards turn 8. He switches to the inside. Emmanuel will try and defend. McKinder for you, oh, he's gone into the back of him. It's like Ricardo and Verstappen in Baku. McKinder for you has gone into the back of Emmanuel. Rear wing has gone off on Emmanuel's car. He's somehow got the car stopped. And the Mercedes now just looks like a Mercedes safety car with no front wing, with no rear wing out on track. Emmanuel out on track. McIntyre just couldn't get the car stopped. Exactly the same like Verstappen and Ricciardo in Baku in 2017. Verstappen and Ricciardo, McIntyre and Emmanuel now going to be battling off, and I think both of them could go into the pits here as a result, as McIntyre will now floor it, so he's now up into 9th position, and Emmanuel, of course, I think that will get forwarded to the stewards. Nothing really you can do about that one though. Ash has dropped on professional, and Crusher Bro was dropped on Zandamar. So Crusher Bro now losing the time to Zandamar. Ash is losing the time to professional, and it looks like now professional is going to take this win out on track. So clearly there was a mistake by Ash somewhere out on track. Crusher Bro now in 3rd. Zandamar in 4th. It's about 2 seconds that gap currently out on track. Well, 9 minutes to go, and it's been a really good race here out on track. Lacking in the overtaking stakes, but not short of any action at all. Professional leads. Ash in 2nd. 3 seconds for gap. Double 7 professional still leads. 2.5 seconds to gap out on track from Ash in 2nd. Crusher Bro in 3rd, but look at Zandamar. He is on the back of Crusher Bro. 1 second out on track. The Mercedes beginning to come into play on the back of the Aston. Crusher Bro will be awarding himself, I think, with 1 piece of chocolate this week and not 3. Zandamar currently out on track though. In 3rd position. Zandamar in 4th. That's the first voice crack of the night for me. Fantastic. Professional leads. 2.5 seconds. Bulldog Racing Team have got this dominated from the front. Zandamar just changing, just braking there. That is Steve, by the way, going up in behind them. He's in 7th currently out on track. So Zandamar currently doing a good job. He's on the back. He's a 10th off his personal best. We go on board then with Crusher Bro and Zandamar. Bounce for 3rd and 4th, very close to the wall. Goodness me, Zandamar using every inch of that track there. And now Zander right on the back of Crusher Bro. This could get quite close. It looks like the Aston could be carrying a little bit of damage actually, maybe on the front. What if Crusher Bro hit the wall somewhere? And this is why Zander's looking a little bit quick coming through the middle sector. And now coming down Seaside Way for, which will be probably for the 4th or 5th last time out on track. Crusher Bro is now under sustained pressure from Zandamar. This is not going to end lightly. I can tell you that for now. Crusher Bro, wide of exit there, really getting the run out of the corner. The Aston and the Mercedes will be favoured down the straight. Can Zandamar get the run on Crusher down towards turn 1? Looking at the gap, no. The answer is a big resounding no. It's 9/10 off running down the straight. Professional leading the way though by 2.2 seconds from Ash in 2nd. Oh, Zandamar hitting the wall there. Zandamar makes a mistake, hits the wall, trying to gain on Crusher. Might be trying a little bit too hard. And now Crusher has got a little bit of a break. It's now a second, 1.2 seconds. The gap has actually just came down to 6/10 of a second, and Zandamar is beginning to fly through the corners here once again. The Mercedes on the back of the Aston. This could get quite heated quite quick. Crusher Bro and Zander for 3rd and 4th. Speedster is 26 seconds off the pace in 5th, but has driven a very astute race to come back from a collision early on. Andy currently on for his best point total I think of the season as well. He's in 6th. Steve in 7th, this in 8th, McIntyre in 9th, and Emmanuel in 10th. And Zandamar now coming through final couple of corners through 9 and 10 once again, and then into the hairpin onto the straight, and Zandamar's looking all over the back here with Crusher Bro, tries to send it down the inside of the hairpin, not going to get the move done, but that gives Crusher Bro once again the advantage to pull away down the straight. Looking good here out on track for Crusher Bro currently. It's 0.8 of a second out on track. We are really getting into the mood, I think, out on track. Let's go Spency is the support from Alan in the comment section there. Xander on the back of Crusher Bro. 4 minutes, 45 seconds ago. Interestingly as well, Professional is beginning to lose the time to Ash. 1.5 seconds the gap. Gap has just gone up to 1.7, but Ash significantly quicker than Professional by 0.5 of a second, just over. 5.5 of a second, just over last time around. So, that could be quite interesting. Oh, and Xandamar has a bit of a half spin there. Gives Crusher Bro a bit more of an advantage. 4 minutes to go. We'll try and focus on this battle if we can. Nissan trying to gain on Steve as well. All good and going. Right at the end of this race, this. As Ash is on the back of Professional, but again, 1.6, 1.7 seconds. Professional now leading the way down the straight. Looking at last lap times, again, 18.7 from Ash. He's beginning to pull in that gap. Crusher Bro third. Xandamar still in fourth position. But currently, Crusher Bro under pressure from Xandamar. 0.8 of a second. This is going to come down to the wire, I think. Possibly for the win, possibly for third as well. Xandamar's going a little bit too deep there. Oh, gets it into the corner nicely. Thought he just broke a little bit too late there for the corner. But Crusher Bro is under sustained pressure. Never, I think this season have we seen Crusher Bro under sustained pressure. His nearest championship rivals are ahead of him out on track. That's a big loser for him out on track. He's now got Xandamar in fourth position in the championship, chasing him down as well. It could go from bad to worse for the championship leader coming into the end of this race tonight. Ash on the back of Professional, 0.9 of a second. Professional is under sustained pressure here now from his own teammate. 1.1 seconds, and the gap has significantly came down over the last 2 or 3 laps or so. We come across the line to start lap 33 out on track. There will be, I think, another 2 more laps after this one to go. That's a tentative another 2 more laps to go after this one. But Xandamar on the back of Crusher Bro still, but there's no real room for overtaking here at Long Beach. And Xandamar will have to try and find Crusher Bro's weak spot out on track. Down into turn 1. Xandar's carrying a lot more speed there. Through turn 1. Right on the apex there nicely. Crusher in third. Xandamar's in fourth. Look at him. He's on the back. The Mercedes pushing Crusher Bro now. Oh, he hits the wall. Xandamar's hit the wall. And again. Twice in the space of 2 corners. It's now all beginning to fall on pressure. It's putting pressure on himself more than anything else for Xandamar out on track. He doesn't really need to do this. He's on the back of him. He just needs to try and close up and get the move done. Professional. Now coming through the final couple of corners. We will have 2 more laps after this one to go. So Professional, coming around the final corner out on track, leads the way. 1 minute and 22 seconds, I think it will be, across the line. So Professional across the line, 1:21. It's going to be a bit touch and go this for the line, as my turn-off sign has weirdly came up on my TV at the worst possible point on the final, possibly the final lap of the race. Professional leads the way. Ash is in second. Look at the gap. It's 0.4 of a second. Professional and Ash. And Xandamar is now off the back of Crusher. So Crusher, currently in third position, is going to be out mastering Xandamar, currently out on track. And remember, it's not like GT Sport this. We will go on for another final lap if the guys come across the line with a second to go. But I think, with Professional backing off, I think these guys are going to be finishing the race on this lap, possibly. They've got 12 seconds behind, so they can do it if needs be. There might be a succinct mattering there. 1.6 seconds then. That suggests to me they're going to be going for the line here. 20 seconds to go as they come off Seaside Way for the final time. Professional and Ash. It's been a dominant drive from the Bulldog Racing team out on track. And with 10 seconds to go as they come through the hairpin, it's going to be very close on the time. Professional and Ash about to come across the line. Are they going to go for the line on this lap? No, they don't. Professional goes for it, and it's another final lap. So, Professional goes on to the final lap of the race now in front from Ash in second. Crusher Bro, though, under pressure from Zandamar. And looking good out on track. By the way, Nissim got past Steve. Just to clarify on that, Nissim did get past Steve. He's up into 7th position now. Steve was in 8th. So I missed that earlier on. So Nissim up to 7th. Steve into 8th position. Not sure where I missed that when that happened out on track. I'm sure we'll be able to see the replay as a result. Crusher Bro then under pressure. Zandamar nearly going through Bill and Ben, the flower pot men there. Right on the back of him. The American against the Norwegian. This is going to be down to the wire. Zandamar needs his best corners to come now. He's on the back, and that Mercedes is looking quite powerful. 2.5 tenths separated as they come down towards turn 6 for the final time. Crusher Bro tied into the apex, and I think that's it for him. Zandamar might have just clipped the wall on the inside there, and that forces Crusher Bro in 3rd, Zandamar in 4th. Professional round the final couple of corners now out on track. He's had to do with the dominant way out on track. Ash is going to let him have this one. Professional to come across the line in a Bulldog Racing 1-2 to win. Professional wins from Ash in 2nd. Crusher Bro is hanging on desperately towards the line in 3rd. He is going to come up on there in 3rd position. He had enough of a buffer through the final corner. Crusher Bro across the line in 3rd. Zandamar across the line in 4th. And Speedster into the pits. Speedster into the pits. We'll get a final lap, but Andy now is up into 5th position for arguably his best result of the season, and this is how the race has progressed, I think, out on track. So Andy will be coming across the line in 5th position. Speedster into the pits, must have picked up damage. Nissim has came across the line, I do believe, to finish in 7th. He has. Steve across the line in 8th. McKinley for you and Andy will be next across the line. Emmanuel is ahead of these guys as well. Emmanuel with front wing damage coming through the final couple of corners, as well as McKinley for you and as well as Andy. So these three were just waiting on now to come across the line. Emmanuel will come home for 10th position. Well, it all really unravelled from lap 1 for him when he went down the escape road, and Emmanuel will finish in P10, McKinley for you in P9, and Andy across the line for P5 out on track. And we've also got Speedster still going round out on track. So Speedster still going round out on track. Rear wing missing off that car completely, and I don't think he's going to get across the line. Oh, and he clips the wall as well. And Speedster now around the final couple of corners, keeping this car straight. Oh, and he's nearly into the wall there. But he will finish in 6th position. I'm sure he will get counted because he got past distance, and he was in that position. He did pit in onto the final lap of the race. So Professional wins by 5 tenths of a second from Ash in 2nd. Crusher Bro finishes in 3rd. Zandamar in 4th. Andy in 5th. Speedster 6th. Nissim 7th. Steve in 8th. McKinley for you in 9th and Manuel 10th. Those guys were the ones that finished. John Dog and Racing Home retired, and Racing Home in fact got disqualified from the race. I'm not sure why Racing Home got disqualified from the race, but in the meantime, that is the end of the action here tonight for CRC Tier 1 action. And that was at Long Beach, of course. Next week, of course, we do go into the final round of the season, where the championship battle has never been so close. Here in CRC, we go to Bathurst for the final round of the season. Crusher Bro finishing in 3rd gets 15 points. He will be on 207 coming into next week. Professional taking the win will be on 203, and Ash coming across the line to finish in 2nd will be on 191 points. So Crusher Bro on 209 coming into next week's race in Bathurst. Next week's season finale, Professional is going to be 6 points behind him coming into next week in Bathurst, and Ash will be still within the battle on 191 points, so I think that's 18 points if I'm not mistaken, separating the guys out on track. But a big thank you to everyone who was tuned in for tonight. Sadly, I'm not going to do any interviews. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to go and rest up and have a good couple of days of rest up, I think, and then be back fresh as a daisy for TTL F2 tomorrow on Tuesday. But until then, I've been James Head. Thank you very much here for tuning in for CRC Tier 1 action. Hopefully we'll see Alan back next week. Thank you very much for watching, and until next week in Bathurst, I've been James Head. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.